Good morning. We're back. This week we're doing all Easter activities. So I know it's Thursday, but we're going to do Thursday to next Friday our Easter activities so that you're all prepped for the week after for Easter. So the first thing we're going to be doing today is we're going to do 5 types of egg decoration. So you can just paint eggs, that's not a problem. And I do love a hand painted egg, as you can tell. But we want to do something a little bit different to show you some new techniques and hopefully with stuff that you've got in the house already. Now, as you can see, some of our eggs didn't fare so well when we were trying to get the innards out, but we're going to work with them. We're going to be a little bit creative. So I was lucky enough to be brought up in Germany for part of my life because my dad, hi dad, was in the army, and over there it's very much a tradition that you will hang a branch with Easter eggs in your window at Easter time, and it's something we've kind of carried on as a family. So I have this beautiful branch that I've picked up from the woods. I have to point out at this stage, I'm not ripping branches off trees. These are ones that we found on the ground. So we've got these branches, we popped them in a little jug at the bottom there, and we've hung on the ones I've already got, and we're going to add to those over the next few days. So come join us. Now, the first thing I can't take credit for, it's my son, so we're going to go out and join him then. So we're outside. I'm with my, I would say able assistant, but I'm going to be his assistant for this one. Patrick has always wanted to do, what's it called?
Hydro dipping.
Hydro dipping. So we're going to give it a go today with eggs because we thought it would be quite a fun thing to do. So we have an old bowl. You can use a plastic tub, you can use a bucket, it's entirely up to you. As you can see, this is an old one because it's got loads of manky PVA glue in the bottom of it from another project I was doing. So on you go, Patrick, over to you.
So first we're going to put one colour in, then the other.
So we're using spray paints here, yeah?
Yeah, you can do 2 colours or you can do a few more, but I think 2 colours looks the best.
So because they're spray paints, they're oil based, so they'll be floating on the top of the water. Okay, so at that point, have you got enough there, do you think?
A bit more.
I'm asking, yeah, Patrick is in charge of this one entirely.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got your egg. I've got a piece of wire so that we can hang it up to dry afterwards, but you can stick your fingers inside if you wanted to make it easier. And Patrick's wearing gloves because, as you know, spray paint doesn't come off very easily. Okay?
I'm just going to give it a quick shake, and now you have a really nice looking hydro dipped egg.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you could use pastel colours. We've used green and gold because that's what we happen to have in the house, and as we're all isolated at the moment. You hold it still for me?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. There we go. So I'm just going to take that so that I can show the camera a little bit more closely. I think that's really pretty, actually. Well done. Right, we're going to go inside for the next project. You are going to need shaving foam and food colouring. Okay, see you in a minute. Hiya, so we're back. Patrick first of all wanted to show you his weaving from yesterday. So this was his final weaving piece. So well done. I think that's beautiful. That's actually hanging in our living room. Well, it will be once we've finished here today. I've just taken it down to show you. So the next one, you need shaving foam. Now we're not a shaving foam family, we're shaving gel. So what I've done is I've taken a little bit of gel, added some water and given it a good mix, and it kind of turns into a foam. So what I'm trying to do is show you that even if you don't have the things that are ideal, we can make do, because we're all trapped in houses at the moment, and I thought this would be kind of an easy one to do. So Patrick has got some food colouring. The only colours we have in the house are blue and red. I have no idea why blue and red. I think probably football colours, blue for Man City and red for Arsenal, because it keeps everybody in the family happy then. Right, so Patrick is going to very carefully drip some of the blue into the foam, but he's going to work quite quickly because otherwise the foam is going to go flat. Is it coming out? No. Right, I'll hold this one then while you do the red. There is definitely, oh, there we go. There's a little bit of blue, not a lot. We're only doing half an egg here, so we don't need a huge amount. There we go. That's enough, yeah? Okay, so we're going to take a stick and we're going to swirl the colours a little bit so that they all kind of marble. Do marbling quite a lot. I can't remember the last time I did marbling actually. Now at this point we're going to take an egg. Now we're going to use our 2 half eggs for this one. And we're going to very gently, I'll do one and then Patrick's going to do the other, and we're just going to roll it in the foam and the dye, and then we're going to pop it to one side. Okay, Patrick, you going to do the other one for me? Try and go with the bits that Mummy hasn't stuck her bit in. I know, I've been a bit of an ink hog, but hey. Okay. And we're going to come back to those in just a minute. Okay. Okay, so we are back. Egg design number 3. We have popped some elastic bands around a blown egg. I say a blown. We've literally just poked a hole in the top and a hole in the bottom, and the middle came out. There was no blowing involved because it was just exhausting, quite frankly. So we just popped some elastic bands around, and we're going to pop the egg into the food colouring. So this is 50-50 food colouring and water. And Patrick's just going to drop it in and then push it down so that hopefully the egg fills up so it submerges. But we're just going to keep rotating it as we're doing this video and as we're doing everything else, so that the whole thing is covered in the end. But hopefully it will mostly stay underwater or under the dye on its own. You can weight it if you want to, but it's you just be careful that you don't crack the egg is the problem. Okay, how are we getting on? Are we submerged yet?
No.
Is it filling up at all? Look at the concentration on that face. It's got to fill an egg up. This is a new activity for both of us. Right, we'll come back in a minute and hopefully it will be full and submerged. Okay, so egg number 4, as you can see, this one here is doing very well. We keep rotating it. It's picking up some colour as it goes. Not a huge heap, but enough. Right, so egg number 4, we have some rice. Now we have a portion of rice. Some of you may say that is more than a portion of rice. I am a feeder. I will put my hands up to that. Right, so we have some food colouring. Patrick is going to pour some of the food colouring. In fact, I will pour the food colouring in, and then Patrick is going to give it a shake so that all the rice is coated with the food colouring. So pop your hand over the top. Give it a shake, you'll get covered, it's fine. We like messy, we've given up trying to be clean in this house. Have we got enough there, or do you think we need a bit more? There we go, let's have a bit more. Oh, there we go, that's more like it. Give it a shake. You're being very restrained, darling. Really good shake. Go on. Right, so we now have, we're going to do a swap. Patrick is going to hold the camera on the cup while I Right, and at this point we now have rice that is absolutely coated, and we're going to pop one of our eggs into the cup. Not the face, darling, this face was made for radio. And we're going to submerge our egg into the rice, and then we're going to leave it, and we're going to let it dry. Okay, and when we come back, it should have coated the egg and dyed the egg. Okay, so the last one we're doing, Patrick is going to do some decoupage. Now, we found a feather up at the forest. We found a lot when we were out walking this week, you may have gathered. So he is going to paint PVA on one side of the egg. So you can use pictures, you can do newspaper cuttings, you can do printouts, magazines, anything you want really can be stuck on. So he's going to cover it, or one side, in PVA glue. And then he's going to very, very carefully place his feather onto his egg. That should be enough. There we go. So he's going to pick up his feather. Don't worry about the table. We've given up on the table. And he's going to stick it onto... Yep. And now he's going to PVA over the top. And that's so that it's sealed. Okay. Right, so we're still going, we're still painting over this. Keep going. So my camera stopped recording and I've just had to start a new recording. Hopefully it will paste together okay. Now, while that looks a bit manky at the moment, once it's finished and dried, it will look beautiful because it will just go clear and transparent rather than being gloopy and white. So we are now going to look at the other eggs that we have been doing. So first ones first that we did were the ones in foam. So Patrick, don't worry about the brush. We buy old furniture because Mummy's an artist. Right, so we've done one already. We've washed one off and this is how it will look. Okay, so Patrick is now going to take his over to the sink. Grab your egg, my darling. That's it. And over you come to the sink. Please do not judge the state of my sink at the moment. We've been doing lots of art projects this week. And he's just going to run some water over the egg and wash off the foam. Now there was a small crack in his, and obviously what that's done is that's made the dye go into the crack. So can you actually leave it running? And we'll rub all the foam off, and you get quite a subtle effect. Now if you've got white eggs, if you are lucky enough to have white eggs, you can get really nice bright colours on them. These are quite muted actually this time round, but you can still see the design as it's all swirled and marbled. So we're going to go back to the table and show you how to do the elastic band one. Okay, so we're back at the table. We've taken the egg out of the cup, and Patrick's going to talk you through what we've done.
So before you put it on the paper towel, make sure you rinse out all of the dye. Now we're just going to carefully peel off.
What we're doing, we're peeling off the
elastic band.
Yes. Patrick does the same with his mummy. He says things in his head and forgets that not everybody's in there with him. And there we go.
You will get this really nice effect where there's no dye on some where the elastic band was.
Move your hand, lay it down and move your hand so we can all see. There we go. So if you scrape it, you really need to let these dry. That's the problem. We're kind of rushing through these so you can see what to do. But if you stand them to one side, let them dry in the sun and they'll come out beautifully. And depending on the colours you've got and the colour of the eggs as well, it will all have an effect. Thank you, Patrick. Right, last one that we have to do is we have got the one that's in rice. Now, the idea being, again, because we've got brown eggs, it's not so great. But the idea being that wherever the rice has stuck, it will leave the dye. So, let's give this one a quick rinse. Luckily, we have a bowl of water on standby. And there we go, you've got that lovely... Oh, I can't get my camera to focus. Could you hold that, Patrick, and I'll get my camera to focus. In fact, let's give that a little bit of a rub. That. I'm going to give my camera a tap to focus it, hopefully. Oh, there we go. So can you see there's a lovely, lovely speckly pattern on there. It actually looks a little bit like a duck egg on the inside. Right, so now I would say we can string these up and we can add them to our tree. But we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to do a community art project. So we will see you up at the forest in a couple of seconds. Hi, right, so we're back at the forest. My husband is there trying to hide. He's just about to go and do his daily exercise. He runs, we walk. We are back at the forest because we're going to do another community art project. We're going to check on our other one in a minute. What we're doing is we're asking people to decorate their eggs and hang it on this tree. So Patrick is here. We've chosen a fairly big tree with fairly low branches and some high branches so that all ages can reach. So there we go, Patrick's got 3 of the ones that we've decorated this morning and he's going to hang them on the tree. So again, this follows the German tradition of having a branch with eggs hanging on it. How about we choose a different branch for this one? Patrick? This one here, maybe? There we go. So we've dotted them about and we've started and we're hoping that people are going to come along and will add their decorated eggs to the tree, and hopefully we will end up with a large number of eggs. Now we're going to give this one a couple of days in between visits because I think it's going to take people that long to get them decorated. Okay, so we'll see you later.